Alrighty, yo, what is going on everybody? It's your boy Mr. DDG94 back with another reaction video. Today we're going to react to what killed after school cartoons. Without further ado, let's get right into it, man. Yeah, after school cartoons, man. Y'all already know, man, Kids WB used to hold it down when you got home from school. Brand new episodes of Teen Titans, Shaolin Showdown, Dragon Ball Z, Batman, shit, man. Take me back, dog. For real, take me back, man. Take me back, man, to the good old days, man. For some days I still wish I was a kid again. Some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Man, take me back, man. Take me back to the good old days, man. When a nigga used to get home from school, nigga. Get a big ass bowl of cereal. Give me a big old bowl of cereal. Turn on that TV in the kitchen. That nobody touched anyway, because it was always collecting dust, because nobody was really in the kitchen unless moms was in there cooking. But other than that, though, I'll be in that kitchen. I'll turn that TV on, boy, out. Rub my hands together like Birdman, eating my Cocoa Pebbles or my Cocoa Puffs. Man, y'all don't understand, dog. Watching that WB Kids, man. Take me back, man. Man, take me back, man. But anyways, though, without further ado, let's get right into this.
Do you remember how it felt to come home from school, switch on the TV, and settle in for a few hours of quality, curated entertainment?
Are you hugging the TV?
No.
This universal experience spanned decades and cross-generational divides, and yet it has practically vanished from our modern existence.
Yep.
So what happened to after-school programming, and will it ever return?
Never.
The brain have taken over their very own Kids WB show.
You pondering what I'm pondering?
After-school programming is just a subcategory of block programming. This practice gave consumers more control, which resulted in them tuning in more often and for longer periods, and that made advertisers happy in turn. The larger television viewing audience was parsed down into several key demographics for advertisers. Among these groups, children were understood to be one of the more lucrative. Thus, children's programming blocks began airing on various television networks. While Saturday morning cartoons were the earliest and most popular implementation of this idea, after-school programming was its own formidable beast. Exhausted parents or their enterprising children could find age-appropriate TV shows between the hours of 2 and 5 p.m. on both local and national networks. At the time, the most likely suspects were programs like Howdy Doody, Clutch Cargo, Ultraman, and reruns of classics like Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes.
That's all, folks.
Decades passed. Eventually, Howdy Doody gave way to He-Man and Transformers in the 1980s. More children's programming started to flood our TV screens along with wildly aggressive advertisements. Your favorite heroes would appear in commercials to sell you action figures, breakfast cereal, and just about anything they could get away with. That is, until parents groups and political activists got a little too loud to ignore. After years of complaints and lobbying,
And they ruined cartoons for everybody, man. Cause why y'all had to do that, man? Why the parents had to do that, man? Cause y'all don't want to pay for it. All you gotta do is tell your kids no. Say we can't afford it. We broke. All you gotta do is be honest and we'll understand. You don't think as kids we can't take the fact or accept the fact that we broke? If we poor, we poor. Just say that. I'm not going to judge you for it. You're my parents. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. I understand. Y'all didn't have to go this far and ruin cartoons just because you too embarrassed to just say you poor and you didn't follow through on your dreams or whatever, and you could barely afford to keep a roof over our fucking heads. That's all you gotta do, man. That's why I appreciate my parents for just keeping it real with me throughout my entire childhood. I appreciate my parents for just keeping it real with me. Versus going this far to go straight to fucking Congress, have them pass a bill that pretty much killed cartoons, bro. Don't nobody want to watch educational shit. Don't nobody want to watch educational I don't want to watch nothing educational. When I turn on the TV to watch cartoons as a kid, when I turned on the TV to watch cartoons as a kid, it was to get away from reality. I don't want to think about school. I don't want to think about my ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. I want to see the Power Rangers whooping ass. I want to see Goku and Vegeta beating the shit out of each other. I want to see just pure fucking entertainment. And if you don't want that for me, then just say you broke and you can't afford what's on TV. I come to realize that I'm not going to be able to get everything that I see on TV, so I never really asked unless it was obtainable. If I knew it was obtainable, I would ask. But if it wasn't obtainable, I would never ask. I'd just be like, "Huh, that's cool." That's all it was, bro. I would never ask my mom to give me the brand new fucking Transformers action figure. I don't give a fuck about no Transformers action figure. I got Hot Wheels. I got a PlayStation. You think I care about? I got a PlayStation and a Nintendo. You think I give a fuck about some goddamn Transformers? You think I give a fuck about some Transformer action figure with the Kung Fu grip? Fuck no, nigga. I got a fucking PlayStation in the back, nigga. I could play Transformers on the PlayStation. The fuck you mean?
The Children's Television Act was put in place in 1990. The CTA aimed to regulate both the type and duration of commercials that could be played during children's programming blocks. It also ensured that the shows themselves held some kind of educational value. This meant big changes to children's entertainment, but in truth, the tide had already been changing. Cynical TV shows made explicitly to sell toys continued to persist. Some of them were even good, but plenty of worthwhile lessons were being taught to kids before 1990 as well. Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood had been a shining beacon of wholesome educational content since the late 60s. The first episode of Reading Rainbow aired in 1983 with the stated purpose of maintaining children's ability to read over summer break. And Fraggle Rock aired the same year, intending to teach kids about diversity and acceptance while simultaneously being a fever dream.
The trash heap knows all. The trash heap tells all.
Let's face it, boys, the trash heap is all.
Too true. Too true.
But 1990 made these edutainment-type shows a legal necessity. As such, some TV shows got creative by writing easy lessons of the week about basic educational concepts, like the X-Men and Spider-Man animated series, while other, more explicitly educational shows like Captain Planet and Magic School Bus also had their time to shine. From there, a new nostalgic age of after-school programming was born. Fox Kids, Nick in the Afternoon, Kids WB, The Disney Afternoon, and PBS Kids were by far the most popular programming blocks during the 90s. A mix of fresh content and shows from previous decades populated these time slots. New episodes tended to air on Saturday mornings. Kids who sat down during the week were treated to reruns of legendary TV shows like Batman the Animated Series, Rugrats, DuckTales, Ren and Stimpy, and Pokemon. Enduring aforementioned classics like Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes also remained in the lineup, withstanding the test of time and the test of the CTA's legal boundaries. It was an exciting time to be a kid. Around this time, as networks got more competitive, programming blocks started to pull out all sorts of tricks and gimmicks to keep kids from changing the channel. It was the themed bumpers between shows, the mini games to play along with, and, of course, the kid-targeted high-energy commercials for cool toys and sugary snacks. After-school programming of this era was made to feel like an exclusive kids-only event that we could talk to our friends about the next day. Like with Saturday morning cartoons, there was a palpable atmosphere to these hours between 2 and 5 p.m. One where kids had total control and felt as though the content was speaking directly to them rather than down at them.
This way, 2 commercials. Hey, it wasn't my idea.
But as with all good things, this golden era could not last forever. In 1996, the Children's Television Act was re-examined and stricter regulations were put into place. Known colloquially as the Kid Vid rules, these regulations forced networks to air at least 3 hours of strictly educational content.
This proposal fulfills the promise of the Children's Television.
Who would have guessed? Mr. Epstein Island himself. Mr. Epstein Island himself ruined Saturday morning cartoons for everybody. You fucking ditwit. You fucking... See, we used to like you. But as time goes on, you show your true colors. You piece of shit. Fuck you. Fuck you, Bill Clinton. Fuck you. You piece of shit. I hope you die sooner than later. Fuck you. You need to die, go to hell, and never return. Fuck you, Bill Clinton. You piece of shit. You and your punk ass wife. And take Monica Lewinsky with you. Even though she probably still with you right now. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Goddamn liar. You a goddamn liar. You was all in that bitch mouth. You was eating pussy on the table, boy. Fucking bastard. You fucking pervert. You fucking rapist.
You's a freaky ass nigga. Freaky frog. You a freaky frog.
Mr. Epstein Island.
Freaky frog. You a freaky frog.
Yeah, Mr. Epstein Island. I know you was out there touching them little kids. You rapist.
Television Act. The television should serve the educational and informational needs of our young people.
It became more difficult for action-oriented TV shows with vague lessons about friendship and environmentalism to stay afloat. The largest networks managed to keep their kids' programming alive, but not without drastic changes. Time slots were slashed, so most after-school blocks only lasted a single hour. Advertisers were finding it difficult to skirt around the guidelines and limited airtime. Shows were canceled or had their budgets severely cut. Less effort was being put into the event-like details we used to love. And then there was the looming threat of the internet. The cultural landscape was changing as home computers started to become more common. The internet was going to be as unignorable as parents' groups were in the 80s. It was easily accessible at any time, or as easily accessible as dial-up could be. Kids no longer had to rush home to catch the beginning of a show. They could entertain themselves whenever they felt like it with the click of a mouse. The rising popularity of video games also contributed to the dwindling ratings of once great programming blocks for the same reasons. Kids had more options than ever, which was great for them, but not so great for our favorite networks.
Don't go away. The Disney afternoon will return. Go.
By the mid-2000s, after-school programming was on life support. Saturday morning cartoons weren't looking too healthy either. And then, if this wasn't enough of a blow, the 2010s brought something new to the table: streaming platforms. Now, their favorite TV shows can be played at any time. Not only that, but they can pick which episodes they specifically want to watch, sometimes totally ad-free. There's just no room for the after-school programming of old. And in some ways, that's a good thing. This level of consumer control means that each individual viewer can create their own block. If they want to watch 6 uninterrupted hours of Cocomelon, then they can do that and leave the rest of us out of it. Streaming platforms aren't even our only option. A huge wealth of educational children's content has found a home on YouTube, where people like Miss Rachel continue the spirit of shows like Mr. Rogers, with an engaging level of kindness and empathy.
What color is this, friends? Green. Whoa!
But there was a magic to that golden age of after-school programming that's severely lacking in today's modern age. Event-style television is much harder to come by, especially for children, and the sheer amount of available content means that everyone is watching something different. Our viewing experiences are becoming increasingly insular, which hurts the sense of community audiences used to have, and the creativity behind show bumpers and mid-show minigames has become a lost art. But the internet is a double-edged sword. While it is partly responsible for killing after-school programming, it's also helping it keep it alive. Re-uploads of nostalgic old network bumpers can garner millions of views. Not the shows, not even the commercials, just the bumpers. Clearly, there was something special about after-school programming. And while we probably won't ever see anything like it again, we can revisit it anytime, as long as we have an internet connection. And that's all we have for you today. Thanks so much for watching.
Yeah, man, I wish it would have lasted a little longer than it did. I hate when they got rid of after school cartoons coming home from school. When they killed that shit off, it was like damn, all we got now is PBS Kids. You really think I want to sit up here and watch Arthur when I get home from school? I mean, it's cool and all that to watch Arthur and then Wishbone and then Sabumafu, but after that, it's like the cartoons go off around 6 o'clock. Ain't nothing on after that. Unless you gonna watch, shit, UPN was gone, so shit, all the good TV shows was gone. Shit, unless Everybody Hate Chris was on, I ain't bothered to turn on the television. I just turned on I just turned on the Xbox 360 and just zoned out for the rest of the night. Shit, it is what it is. Get ready for school the next day. But anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this one, man. RIP to after school cartoons, man. Definitely a amazing time frame to be around, man.
That's what he's everything. That's what he's the GOAT.
An amazing time to be alive. I'm glad I was born in the 90s and I grew up in the 2000s, the last good era of just good old times, man. Damn. But you pushing 30, fuck you.